Hi, welcome to Briones Pickleball. My name is Jordan Briones, and in today's video, we're going to talk about why you need the two-handed block. Now, let's jump right in. All right, so before we get started, if you're not subscribed to this channel, hit that subscribe button and also hit that little bell icon so that you can be notified every time we release a new video. In today's lesson, we're going to be talking about the two-handed reset or the two-handed block. Now in today's game, one of the things that has really progressed is players' abilities to play great defense. And one of the ways that they do that, and one of the ways that you can do that, is blocking and defending, hitting reset shots with two hands. All right, so I've been playing a little bit over 7 years now, and I just started incorporating this in my game about a couple years ago. But let me tell you, the two-handed block, when you learn it the correct way and the right way, it can come in handy lots and lots of times, especially when you're digging yourself out of a point when your opponent is hitting really hard balls at your feet or at your body, and is very effective to get that ball back into a neutral position, landing into the non-volley zone. All right, so like I said, for the longest time, I volleyed and reset and blocked everything with one hand, but in this video, I'm going to show you how actually adding that other hand, that left hand, if you're a righty, or that right hand, if you're a lefty, can be really beneficial, because when we are blocking shots and when we are trying to reset balls into the non-volley zone, what we need is stability, okay? So sometimes when we don't have the strength or the stability with one hand, we can add that other hand on it, and then we can block and be stable and be confident in blocking that ball into the non-volley zone. All right, so real quick, I'm going to go over the grip. Now, I play with a continental grip, and I would encourage you to play with a continental grip as well. So here's my continental grip, as you can see right here. And then what you're gonna do is you are going to just simply add this left hand right here, just like this. So you can see I hold it just like that, okay? Now, real quick, some of you might choke up, and I know there's players that play like this with a finger or two up here on the paddle face. This is totally okay? As long as this is in a continental grip, that's totally fine. What you're going to do is just place that other hand and just grab it here on top. So I've tried this and it works just like this. I kind of wrap, if you can, I'll wrap my fingers around my index on my dominant side, just like that, okay? So whether you use a grip that is a little bit lower or you choke up on it, all you're gonna do is just take that same grip and place that other hand on there. All right, so before we start, I'm going to show you a few scenarios in this transition zone. It's a very useful shot when you are getting hit balls right at your feet and you're forced to half volley or even volley balls out of the air. Also, when you're closer up to the non-volley zone line and players are driving their forward shot, or maybe they're just hitting the ball really hard at you, and you are trying to slow down the ball and get that ball landing down into the non-volley zone so that it makes it harder for them to attack you again. All right, so here we are with my wife Katrina here at the kitchen line, and before I teach you how to actually block, one thing that I like to do with players that I work with is I like to teach them how to dink with two hands. Now, just to let you know, most of my dinks, I would say 99% of the dinks that I hit are with one hand. I hit with some slice, I'll hit with just a regular lift dink, a one-handed dink. But what you want to do when you first start out practicing the shot is you want to get comfortable with holding the paddle with two hands. So I like to start at the kitchen line and dinking back and forth, because sometimes with this other hand there, you know, it gets some getting used to. All right, so again, I'm just gonna be in a good low stance. I have my regular continental grip. I put my left hand over it. And one key thing here, if you were to think about how much pressure you put in each hand, as a right-handed player, I would actually want about 60% of the pressure on my left hand here and about 40%, okay, which totals 100, right? So I'm actually pushing and lifting this ball up more with my left hand, and my right hand is just kind of guiding it as well. All right, so but we're gonna start here just so we can get clean contacts and really get to know what it feels like when we're hitting the ball with two hands, and what we're doing is we're just doing some liftings right here, okay? So let's get a good stance here. We're gonna go back and forth here, okay? So notice I'm getting low. And when you first do this, it is going to feel, or it might feel a little bit different, but again, we want to put 60% of our grip pressure in our left hand and 40% in our right hand. And remember, when you're dinking at the non-volley zone line, you have a very, very loose grip. So now you're gripping the paddle with two hands, so very, very light, and I'm just lifting up, all right? Okay, so we're just gonna get the feel here. We might have to step in. Okay. Good. Nice, get low, and all we're doing is just guiding it and lifting it up, mainly with our left hand. And all this is doing, this is just, remember, just getting the feel. If I have to step in, I want to do that. But notice how my hands are positioned, like I said, just like so. All right. So when we're practicing it, let's just try to keep it short into the non-volley zone. We don't want to hit it really, really hard. And we're just lifting up on the ball. All right. So Katrina's doing a good job. She's still getting used to that contact point because it feels a little bit different than hitting it with one. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to learn how this feels as a volley. All right. So we're going to switch sides actually, and then I'm going to feed some balls to Katrina as a volley, which she's going to just be gently blocking into the non-volley zone. Hi, if you're enjoying this content, go ahead and give this video a like and don't forget to subscribe. Now, let's get right back to the video. All right, so Katrina has the right grip. Her right hand is in that continental grip, and then she just has that left hand right on top here. So I'm going to feed you some dink volleys now, and all you're going to do with that same grip is you're just going to block the ball into the non-volley zone. All right, here we go. Good. Nice. Good. Nice. Good. Nice. Good. Okay. Good. Nice. Okay, good. Okay. Okay, good. Nice. Okay. All right, notice a few things that Katrina's doing really, really well. That paddle is out in front of her, okay, and she's has a good contact. It's not super jammed, super close to her body. And also notice it's not way full extension out, okay? So it's in a good contact point right here. And the main thing is that paddle is stable when that ball's hitting it, and she's not pushing or flicking her wrist or anything like that. So also, if you are trying to hit reset shots or you're working on your reset shot with one hand and you tend to flick your wrist, having that other hand also could help with this. So just know that you want to be stable during impact point, and that's what we're working on right now. Here we go, Katrina. Good ball. Perfect. Again. Good. Okay. So there's not a lot of movement forward, if any at all, and she's just blocking. Okay. Good. Okay, here we go. 5 more in a row. 1. Okay. 2. 3. 4. Nice. Okay. 5. All right. So a lot of times when I'm working with players, you know, I know when we volley with one hand, a lot of the times it looks like this, okay? When you add that two hands on it and when you get lower balls, it's definitely okay. Give yourself some room to just drop your paddle head down, okay? And especially when we talk about digging balls out that are really close to our feet or at our feet, we're gonna have to drop our paddle down here and play good defense. And you'll see a lot of the top players do this, especially when the balls are coming in really fast. So it doesn't have to be like this, okay? With this facing over here to my left, you can just, you know, feel free to just drop this paddle down and just stay relaxed. And then now you're just blocking and trying to get this paddle in the right position. All right, so now Katrina's moved back 3 or 4 feet and she's going to do the same thing. Right now I'm gonna send her balls kind of bouncing in front of her as a half volley or kind of making her dink it. So that's what we're gonna do, and she's gonna just work on getting the feel of this shot. All right, here we go. Good, nice, okay. Yep, and all she's doing is lifting up. Good, okay. Good ball, okay. Good, Again. Good. Okay. Good. That was a good volley. Nice. Okay. Good. Okay. Nice. That's all right. That was a tough one. Okay. So we're just trying to remember, feed low balls at the feet, and this is how we handle them. Good. Okay. Nice. Good. Okay. All right. So obviously these are really, really tough balls at the feet, and I know a lot of you beginners and even strong intermediates out there, this is a really tough ball when that ball is coming to you. Okay. This is why I think when you have that other hand on it, we can keep our paddle stable and block the balls. All right. So now we're going to switch roles, and I'm going to give you a few more tips. All right. So here I am in the transition zone in midcourt, and I'm pretty deep here. I would say, you know, around 6 feet or so from the baseline. And this is a really, really important key shot and key skill to have. Obviously, after our third shot drop, hit by you or your partner, you're going to be making your way through this transition zone. So obviously, the players at the net or at the non-volley zone are going to be hitting at your feet. So this is why I think this shot is very, very effective, or it could be if you really practice it and get it down. Okay, so a couple key things here. I just want to note, when you're in the transition zone, it is always beneficial that you have a little bit wider stance and you get low or you get down. Okay, you'll see the best players in the world, the reason why their defense and their resets are so good in this transition zone is they get down because they know the ball is going to go where? It's going to go at their feet. So I'm going to come right here, and I'm already going to drop my paddle kind of in this backhanded position, especially when you are on the extreme defense. If your opponents are hitting something really, really hard and down, you'll see many, many players drop to here because they can block everything around in between their feet and also on their backhand. Now, on this forehand side, I referenced this in another video, but this is the toughest spot to defend. But we're playing percentages. Remember, if our opponent is smashing the ball down at us, we just want to get here so we can block as much as we can. And even if you have to come over here, you can see probably from this camera, this is not ideal, but you can even block up to, you know, a little bit past your right foot. Okay, Katrina, you're going to give me some tough balls at my feet, and the thing that I want to do here is I want to keep this paddle out in front of me. Okay, so I could either lean in or get low and get it out of the air, and if I'm going to take a half volley, I don't want to take it behind me. All I'm going to do is just watch that ball in and just block it. All right, I just want to block it here and do the best that I can. And if this paddle is stable and you hit it in the sweet spot, it's typically going to go over if you have your paddle angled correctly. Okay, so here we go. Let's try it. Okay. Good. Those are tough ones. So those are good. Those are the low half volleys that are really tough. And honestly, some of these balls with one hand are tough because it's all about stability here. Okay, that ball's coming in. If I can't reach it out of the air, I'm just going to pull it back a little bit, let it bounce off my paddle, and that's how I'm going to get a lot of balls back. Now, just to show you, I know we're just drilling, and a lot of people in the comments are going to be like, oh, she's not hitting that hard. I'm going to actually feed some pretty high balls so that she can really attack, and I'm going to show you how effective this could actually be. Okay, so what she's going to do, I'm going to give her a high ball, and she's going to aim somewhere here. And remember, in a real game, this is what you're going to do, or this is what you would strive to do at least. When that ball sits up and when it's really high, we need to get low with her legs first, okay, and then we drop our paddle down. Now, just as something to think about, right? Anything up here, shoulder height, that is going to go out. I'm very, very close to the baseline here. So when someone is attacking me, all I need to be ready for is anything in this range, over here, anything that is going fast and it's coming even up here chest high, that's most likely going out. Okay, so here we go. I'll try to send Katrina a high ball, and then I'm going to try to dig it out. Okay. All right, so the ball's coming in really, really fast, especially on a really high swinging volley forehand or a smash. The biggest key thing is we want to just be really, really stable, and during impact that paddle just is stable. There's so much force and so much momentum on that ball. This is the best chance we have when that ball is headed down towards our feet, coming really, really fast. All right, so we'll show you a couple more. All right, so last key tip, as you can see on those ones, I want to make sure that my weight is on the balls of my feet and I'm not leaning back, okay? It's really, really important to make sure that you're not leaning back, because if you're leaning back trying to slow down the ball or block it into the non-volley zone, we tend to lift up like this, okay? So really, really important when you're in this transition, especially when you are on the extreme defense, is to get in a wide base. All right, spread those feet a little wider than shoulder width. Obviously the lower you can get, the better, okay? Because when your opponents are hitting down on a high ball, they're going at your feet. You can do this with one hand, but obviously this video I'm trying to show you that you can actually do it with two, and this helps with your stability. A lot of those balls you saw are coming pretty hard at my feet, but if I could just have that other hand on it and just blocking it, if I could just get in front of that ball, you know, sometimes I'm gonna have to lean here, sometimes I'm gonna have to be here, and I could even get balls you know, where my right foot is or a little bit beyond if I have to. But remember, we're playing percentages. This is how you can play good defense if you're making your way through the transition zone and you're blocking balls, trying to get that into the non-volley zone, and then you can proceed to the net. All right, so hopefully this helps. Remember, if you haven't done this before, if you haven't hit with two hands before, it's going to feel a little bit different. It took me months to actually get comfortable with blocking like this. Now, I don't hit dinks with two hands usually, and I typically don't hit a lot of shots with two hands, but this is one of the ones that I use it for. When I'm on the extreme defense, when they're hitting really, really hard at my feet or at my body, or if I'm just trying to reset the ball, this is a really, really good one to try. So go out there and give it a try. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching. For a free pickleball workout routine that is guaranteed to level up your game, head on to brionespickleball.com/workout. Before you head on over there, make sure you're subscribed to this YouTube channel and hit that little bell icon so that you can be notified every time we release a new video. Again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.
Have this feeling, haven't felt for so long. Took a hold of me and won't let go. I've been sleeping, caught me off my guard, 'cause you're in my space and now